Yeah. Say hi.
Hi.
What are we gonna try to make? Butter?
Yeah.
All right, here's an update, guys. It has been right at 30 minutes. Look at that. Strain this buttermilk off.
What are you doing?
Look at our butter. You see it?
Yeah.
What do you think of that, huh?
Can you touch it?
Yeah, we can touch it. There we go, guys. We got butter. Today, we're going to turn these locust posts to this.
I'm live, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm live.
Hey, Siri.
So they think I'm live. There's a body sitting here. The rest of me is still in bed. Hope everyone had a great weekend. I'm not sure what we did. Saturday we spent our time between Best Buy and then driving down to Columbus to the Apple store to fix my phone. Yesterday we didn't do squat. Did we? I don't remember. I'm lost. I'm telling you. Since this surgery, I'm lost. But anyway, trying to get ready for our trip this weekend. Don't know if we're taking the grandkids or not. So if they go, we're trying to figure out how we're going to put Smudge in the camper to travel. So if anybody has tips on how to do that, let us know. Because he's used to having the whole back seat to himself.
Well, he's going to have the whole camper to himself.
Yeah. This time there may be 3 children in the back seat, and he may have the camper. I'm not sure about that. So we're trying to figure something out. But anyway, tonight is Buckeye night. We're Buckeyes. Our guests are Buckeyes. We have Buckeyes in the channel. What can I say? Scarlet and gray all the way. So... Oh, are you going, Claire? Are you going to be at Jason's? Oh no, you're going to be in Tennessee. Not sure where you're going, Claire. I'm lost. So let's get this show on the road.
All right. Hey, Dave, you are on the air live.
Hey, everyone.
So, give everybody your name. Tell them about your family, your location. Give out your social security number, mailing address. Anything you like to share.
All the good stuff. All right. Well, my name's Dave, and we have a small hobby farm here in East Central Ohio, right along the Ohio River. And I have two little girls. Their names are Adelie and Autumn, and my wife, Tylen. They're all a little camera shy. We might see some of the little ones coming in and out of here. And we like being outside, and we're really enjoying this homesteading stuff.
So how long have you been on your property here?
We've lived here a little over 3 years.
Okay, about 3 years. And how big is it?
We have 14 acres. It's mostly wooded. I've been clearing some pasture and things, some land for the goats. They're really helping me out with that, and we're just making headway on it, trying to better the property and get some more use out of it.
Well, you said goats, so that leads to the next question. What other types of livestock do you have on your place here?
Well, we've gotten 3 young doelings that we're hoping to get start milking maybe next year. So they're Alpine and Sandon mix and an Oberhasli. I think that's how you pronounce it. And so the 3 goats, we have, I think, 23 chickens and a duck.
Wow.
Three pigs, a cat, and 2 dogs. Also, 2 rabbits that the mama just had 4 babies. So all types of excitement.
Oh, and probably untold numbers of groundhogs and other wildlife that are just naturally there.
Yes, tons of those. They're in and out everywhere. The dogs usually try to help keep them at bay.
And I know the general vicinity where you're at, so I'm also, at least wise it's my assumption, there's a considerable amount of game around there. You have deer and other wild creatures, turkey and so forth. Yes,
absolutely. There's a lot of whitetail. We see quite a few of fox. Unfortunately, a lot of coyotes. The turkey, they're in and out of here all the time. So we see a lot of action there.
So I'm a little curious with the coyote and the other wildlife creatures that are in your vicinity. How do you protect your chickens?
Well, couple lines of defense. First, with the coop, they have a sliding door there that I can close every night for them, and their perimeter's got a 5-foot tall fence around it, which that's the biggest help, along with the dogs. If you all follow the channel, I've gotten 2 dogs there, 2 German Shepherds, and they really help patrol the farm there and keep everyone safe. So
okay, good deal. So although you've only had this property for 3 years, give us a little bit of background about you. How did you come to acquire the property? What is your background? Are you a city slicker? Are you country boy? Or what have you done? You've been in the service, on and on and on. Give us the whole 911 here.
All right, I'll get you the scoop there. So I grew up on a farm, a small farm. It was no major production or anything, kind of just a small hobby farm. Then we had anywhere between 4 to 11 horses at times. And, mom and dad, they've raised a couple steer for projects. We've always had pigs off and on for FFA, and of course chickens. So I went to college after high school. I got a degree, and I decided to go on. And I went to join the Navy, and served 5 years active duty in the Navy. And at that time, I realized that the city life for sure was not for me. We bounced all around the East Coast, lots of close neighbors, and growing up on a farm that just made me realize that I wanted my kids to grow up and really enjoy the outdoors and love animals. And, I think it's a great way of life. And that's how we, when we came back, was fortunate enough to find this place and got moved in. At the same time, I picked up future employment there, and it's been great ever since. Lots of hard work, but we're making do with it.
So is that it?
That's that's about where we're at now. So the property that we've purchased, like I said, it's 14 acres and very wooded and overgrown. I was told about 40 to 50 years ago there was cattle on the eastern side of the property that ran about 7 to 8 acres of it. Well, all of that, of course, has grown up into really thick, viney woods. And if you all see the channel there, you'll see I'm constantly battling with the vines and briar bushes, and we're making headway.
Okay. Well, and I have to share this with everybody out here in the chat. Folks, when we do these shows every week, we try to make we got somebody joining us here.
You want to say hi? This is Adelie. She's my biggest helper.
Hi, Adelie.
She's
Say
adorable.
hi, YouTube.
Hi, YouTube.
How old are you?
Tell her how old you are.
Hello.
You're going to be 5 soon, huh?
Oh, wow. You have a birthday coming up?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
She's
Love
She's shy,
big
huh?
eyes,
Don't worry.
yeah.
well, she's looking at herself.
Yeah.
Here.
Uh-huh.
Now she can see Sherry.
There you go. See, that's who you're talking to. Yes, she's a big help, aren't you? Always feeding the chickens with me. And do you help get eggs?
Do you help make the butter?
Did we make butter? Do you remember that? Yeah.
Yeah, sort of.
It was a while back.
Yeah. That was last week. Yeah,
All right.
sort
Well,
of.
let me get back to my story here real quick. When we have a guest on, we always try to do a test connection, make sure that everything is right. We do it either the weekend before, the day before, or day of the show, just to make sure everything's good to go. And folks, he was not sitting in this location when I talked with him earlier today. He was sitting in this area that he calls a man cave. I know that because he has a sign up that says man cave.
Okay.
And the entire wall behind him was absolutely full of all of these trophies, plaques, things that he has won and acquired by being an ex-motocross person. I guess motorcycle racing of some sort.
Yes. That was a good pastime there. I spent majority of my high school and college racing dirt bikes. We did woods racing growing up on the farm. It was always great to have good practice tracks through the woods, and had a lot of fun out of it. It just turned into kind of a family event for us. So we always enjoyed, every weekend, every other weekend going and racing, and we had a lot of fun doing it.
Great. Well, it takes a little bit to impress me, and I was impressed. So.
That kind of goes along with the hobby part there.
It's because
I'm
your
constantly
kids did
switching
the
hobbies.
bikes.
So tell us a little bit more about your hobbies. I mean, what other sorts of things do you like? Do you have any other recreational activities? Like, did you play ball? Did you play tennis or go bowling or fishing?
Of course. So I like to hunt and fish. I like to spend some time doing that. Kayaking. Really trying to keep the kids involved now. Before, I like to do a little bit of rock climbing. I like mountain biking. All sorts of exciting stuff there, but kind of slowing down now. And really, I like to spend most of my time working around the farm here, and chainsaw or weed eater in my hand and running the tractor is kind of my favorite. So.
Okay, well, your farm is not your sole source of income at this point in time, anyway. And do you foresee in the future that you want to become more self-sufficient on your property there, or is this just going to be a hobby farm for you?
So I'm all for trying to be more self-sufficient. I really like the idea of knowing what we're feeding the family, and giving the animals the best life for the purpose that they're serving us. I don't really think I'll get into too much profit from it. Maybe one day I'd like to do a greenhouse. I think that would be very beneficial for us. And just down the road, I'm thinking, we're going to try meat birds, chickens for the first time this year. And we've been doing the pigs for a couple years now and really like our egg layers. So really just trying to see how much food we can produce on our own with the amount of land that we have.
So do you, how many chickens did you say you had? 20 something?
I think we have 23.
23.
And a duck. You can count on her for laying every day as well.
Is that right?
Yes. She's.
So do you have the fancy chickens, or they just look like regular old chickens?
No, so I have white leghorn chickens. Let's see, Buff Worthingtons, Cuckoo Morans, and we just had New Year's Day. I went out and we had purchased Americanas, so to get the Easter eggs, and we are just starting to get our pullet eggs from them. So that's kind of exciting, seeing the greens and the blues coming.
Neat. That's always kind of neat. So I'm a little curious. Your chicken house, pen, coop, however you want to call it, is this something you built, you bought, you modified because it was there when you moved in, or?
No, so we expanded from our backyard. It was all grown up, like I said, really thick before, and I started clearing more of the flatter, usable ground that we had here. And from there, I actually started from the ground up with the new tractor I've gotten with the backhoe. Did all the groundwork for it and starting building it from scratch. And luckily, my father actually has a sawmill, and I used majority of the cost was cut due to using rough cut lumber. So I didn't have a lot of money in it. The basic framing and the roofing was kind of the only expense and a lot of hard work. But we built that, and it houses our goats, our rabbits, and the chicken coop is actually inside of that.
Okay.
Jason is asking what you did in the Navy. Jason is a Marine, so.
All right. Hey, Jason. I was a submariner, so it was a very interesting experience, but I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm glad I did it, but I'm also glad I can spend some time relaxing now.
Okay. Bare Hands Homestead is asking where you located again. I will use the word Ohio. You can get closer if you want. That's up to you.
Okay. Yeah. We're in East Central Ohio, so right along the Ohio River there.
Okay. I don't know what a submariner is. I don't mean to sound my ignorance here, but can you explain a little bit what that is?
Yes. So a submarine actually deploys and basically spends quite a few months underwater, and we come back and get the sub ready to do it again a few months later.
So you're down with the fishes.
Yes.
Yes, Nathan, the guest is a squid. So is my brother.
All right.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure you know all about it, the joys of it.
Well, he was 10 years older than me, but all I can remember is, damn, he looked good in his whites and his navy blues. So that's all I can remember.
Okay. Natasha Yearwood is asking, have you run into any zoning restrictions? They hear Ohio is tough.
Honestly, I don't pay as close of attention as I should to zoning restrictions. I have not had any issues locally, but at the same time, we try to, keep to ourselves, try not to, be a bother. All the neighbors are fine with what we're doing. I guess really, if I had any advice to that, it would be just be respectful and, try to make the best of it. That's what we're doing, and, we'll see how it goes. So.
We have one here, Jay Loves Adventures. She's in Martins Ferry. So
okay.
Not all that far.
No, not at all.
Natasha Yearwood's asking, have you run into any zoning restrictions? I heard Ohio is tough.
Like I said, I have not had any issues with that yet. I don't know a lot about the zoning restrictions to answer that more clearly, but like I said, I personally have not had
In
any
other
issues
words,
with
he's
that.
doing his own thing and hasn't gotten caught yet.
He's got some 14 acres and he's in the middle of it, and
That's
he's
right.
got a 20-foot fence around the property so nobody can see.
Yeah, we can zone with that.
Boston Mountain Homestead wants to know, what's the strangest thing you experienced down in the submarine?
Oh, shoot. I don't know. There's been a lot of strange things. I feel like we ran into something while we were deep under the water, and it kind of shuttered the submarine. Like I honestly don't know if it was some sort of whale or what, but that's probably the strangest thing. Maybe the boat had a sudden shift or something, but it caught my attention. That was probably the strangest thing.
Well, it's not like you can really see it, right?
No, you can't see anything. You just felt it. It was just odd.
The Naked Gardener's asking, what got you into homesteading?
Just a way of life, from a child there growing up on the farm. I really like being able to provide for the family and, be self-sufficient as much as we can. So, and, all in all, I really enjoy the fact of getting the girls involved and, letting them learn some experiences and, responsibility as we go.
Breakaway Homesteader is asking if you ever got to ride an emergency blow.
Yes, for training. That just for training purposes. That was the only time we have done that. Nothing too extreme like you see on some of the video clips on Facebook and such. But we have done it, and it's pretty interesting.
You want to catch the one from Gemini here?
Was your wife a city girl or a country girl, farm girl?
She actually grew up in town, and we've been together since teenagers. So I was 17, I think, and she was 15 when we first started getting together. And she's always been out at the farm at mom and dad's with us helping, and from there on, I think I converted her.
See.
All right,
Go ahead.
we've got some talk going on here that I don't understand. So, what is CTMC Q6/Q4? Does that mean anything to you?
No, not right off the top of my head.
Okay. Well,
Let me see. Oh, okay.
CTMC Q6/Q4. I figure it's got to be some sort of Navy talk.
So yeah, service talk. Yeah.
I'm assuming Master Chief. I'm not real sure.
Well, Mountain Mama's asking, with two girls, are you hoping to eventually have a boy to help with your homesteading?
Oh, that's that's a great question. I don't know. The two girls, the youngest, she's rotten. She always keeps me on edge. And the oldest there, I think for now I'm content with the two girls. But time will tell.
Okay. Bill and Rosa wants to know what your rating was in the Navy.
Oh, I was a navigation electronics technician. And my rank, I was an E5 when I got out.
Did you catch one on the Naked Gardener here?
I think I already asked that one.
You were not homesteading. Did you ask that one?
Oh, no.
If you were not homesteading, what would you be doing?
Oh boy. I think I would probably be, I don't know, spending more time with the family this summer times, maybe boating or camping more often. And as far as an overall kind of hobby, as far as not working, I'm really not sure. I haven't really thought of that.
Well, it's always nice when we can come up with something he's not thought of.
Yeah, you know, I've always just had the desire to farm and you know, spend family time here. I think that's kind of the best for us.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's just kind of take a real quick short break here. We'll get the trivia queued up, and we'll do a quick trivia time, and then we'll be back. We'll get the phone lines opened up, and all you folks out here in the chat, one at a time, can call in and ask Dave anything you like. So here is Smudge going to give you the rules.
Well, hi folks, it's trivia time again, and we have to have some rules for this, so they are as follows. Number 1, you can only win once every 4 weeks. Number 2, you must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it appears embedded on the screen here. Your chat window may have a different order. And number 3, you have to send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Send us your mailing address so we know where to send your winnings. Good luck.
Okay, and for those of you that are perhaps new here tonight, because I see we have a nice crowd of people in the chat here. As Smudge said, the official order of chat is on the screen in front of you here. So that's whoever answers the question first there. That as it comes into here, that's who the winner will be. So, if everybody is ready for the first question, it is, what did we name our new German Shepherd puppy? Not Blue, not Large Shoes.
Not opossum. Cheesecake,
not
yeah,
cheesecake.
Chris. I knew
Not Frank, not
your
Waffles.
mind would be on cheesecake.
What did we name our new German Shepherd puppy? It's not Puppy, not Buck, not Sam, and it wasn't Howard Stern. Crew, Chris, Possum, no. Purple.
You all better open up another tab to find out what it is.
Wasn't Shep. It wasn't Buckeye. Wasn't YouTuber, and it's not Donald Jr. Shep, Radar, Pancake, Fudge, no. Not Gizmo. Hey You, nope. Lily Darn, Carter, no. Not Scuttlebutt, not Brownie, not Ranger. It wasn't Navy. And it's not Come Here. Not Buddy. Not Tab.
Boston Mountain gives up.
Yeah, it's not I Give Up either.
Well, I think they need a hint. How can we do a hint with that one?
Oh.
Well, Mountain Mama, it starts with an A.
She's close. Mountain Mama named one of them.
Uh-huh.
No. I think Mountain Mama has heard it or something. She's just not quite getting it.
Yeah.
So now as we progress through the A's,
Wonder what else we can do to give a hint.
I don't know, something like Holding the Globe.
Well, that VW
Oh, yeah.
Farm. No, never mind. No. Mountain Mama.
Yep, Mountain
You
Mama
got it,
did
dear.
get it. I,
All
I,
right.
I
Next
think,
with the busy little house.
yeah, I think that Mountain Mama had heard it before. She just couldn't quite get it typed out there. So
Atlas. Yep, the name is Atlas. Send us an email, twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. In the subject, put trivia winner, then give us your name and address. And you have your choice of seeds. Oh, there's the camera. Seeds or chicken earrings.
Had a lot of good guesses there.
Yeah, there
a
are.
lot of good guesses.
So just let me know which one you would prefer.
All right, and folks, we have the phone line opened up. It's your nickel. We don't charge you to call, and we can only take one caller at a time. So if it is busy, we just and I need to get some set up here real quick. We won't be able
Life of is Nina, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. I got them on eBay. Send me an email. I'll get you fixed up.
Okay, so if we're already on a phone call, we won't be able to accept another call coming in, just so you know that. But the phone line is open, it is up and working, and just tested and it's ready to go. So all right, where are we at? Oh, Christy Best wants to know what sub you were on. I don't know if you're allowed to say that or not, but we're going to ask.
Okay. I was on an Ohio class sub. We'll just stick with that.
An Ohio class sub.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, is that as opposed to West Virginia class, or I don't know. I mean,
Just the design of the sub itself. There's quite a few different kinds, and that's the kind that I was on there.
Okay. I had no idea. What is the most challenging part of farming where you are?
For me specifically on my property and kind of this area in general is topography. So the hillsides, a lot of steep grounds. And on my property, like I said, it's majority of it's forest. So I've been hard at work to try to make pastures and utilizing the goats. They're doing great. Just chipping away at the ice block there, trying to create more, and we'll see where it goes.
Stringfield Ridge Farm's asking, how did you name your farm?
Okay, so when I started this YouTube journey, that's when I decided that I probably should try to name the place. So when I was looking for something, that fit, so I thought Hobby Farm for sure had to be in it. And knowing from our cover page there, the background, we're straight on top of a hill, so high hilltops, that kind of stuck, and I thought it had a good ring to it.
And you do have the woods there, that's for sure. Natasha Yearwood's asking, are there any challenges with the soil in Ohio?
Not necessarily. Our garden has done really well the last 2 years. We've got it planted for this year. Mostly, if anything, occasional rocks, but there's not a lot of sandstone shelves and things to battle with. Surprisingly, we're fortunate to have really good soil here, and it produces very well without having to fertilize a whole lot.
What's the main thing that you grow there?
Sweet corn. Yeah, I'm going to say sweet corn and tomatoes is kind of the most used vegetables that we grow here.
Beulah Landholm said, are you originally from Ohio?
No, actually, I was from across the river there in northern West Virginia is where I grew up. Yeah, a
You can't call
small
Chris.
property. What's that? I'm sorry.
Oh, single dad homestead said he can't call, but he's in the woods. I think your phone would work, Chris. Let's see. About Boston Mountain Homestead, their yard grows rocks.
Yes, there's quite a few rocks here, but they're it's not too much of an effort to get rid of them where we're at.
Single Dad Homestead's asking, what's the biggest buck you have harvested on your property?
So unfortunately, where we're at here, it seems like the big deer, the bucks will leave at the beginning of rut, and usually when bow season comes, it's been too warm here for me to get in the grind of wanting to bow hunt, and by that time it seems that rut's usually kicked in and fading out, and the property's not big enough to really hold them. So I think they go to bigger fields, and I actually haven't got to harvest one yet.
What you got, Daryl?
I am just going through this other stuff here, so I am. You caught me by surprise here. I was performing maintenance back here.
Oh, what kind of maintenance you doing?
Lisa is asking, what's the favorite place on your farm?
My favorite place, I really like. I call it the Point, but it's at the top of our property, and you have a great view of the valley. Especially in the fall when the leaves are down, you can see, the whole town's below you, and it's just really peaceful. And aside from that, I'm gonna have to go with the new barn that we built. I just something about the hard work paying off. I like to go in there and fiddle around and clean it and spend some time with the animals.
Know that you're the one who built it. Yeah.
Yes, that's a good feeling.
Mimsy's Garden's asking, what does your ideal greenhouse building plan look like?
So I haven't thought too in depth of it. It's not going to be very big when I do it. I'm thinking maybe 12 to 14 feet wide. 20, 25 feet long, maybe. Just a basic one to really help get an early start. In the spring there, and you utilize it throughout the fall, and it's not going to be too elaborate, but kind of give us a heads up on it. It might change. Plans may change down the road. We'll see.
Do you grow in above beds or hill beds?
So, I don't know, like in like a raised bed. Is that?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they want to know. Yeah.
Okay. I actually haven't done any raised beds. We thought about doing strawberries in a raised bed, having it nice and neat and produce very well, but primarily just the garden. We have a nice flat area that we till, and that's where we do all of our planting at.
And Natasha wants to know, what is the biggest animal you would like to add to your growing establishment there?
I think we're probably going to stick with the pigs. They're here for a short time, and that's probably the biggest. I really like the goats. Maybe we get another goat or so, but probably not going to expand too much more from where we're at. Aside from the meat birds in the future, I'd like to do that.
Okay, the questions are coming in here fast and furious, and I'm sure that I've missed a couple. And folks, if we don't get to your question, just please repost it in all caps. Let's see. Does your wife crochet or sew? Have you ever thought of raising some animals for wool?
The thoughts cross my mind, but where we're at, I think we'd get more benefit from the goats for utilizing the space than the sheep, because I don't have a lot of grazing ground. She does sew. My mom actually was teaching her, there for a while, the basics of sewing, but she doesn't really do it for a hobby. But yeah, I don't think sheep are in our future as far as the wool and such, but we'll see.
In what ways do you and your family preserve the crops that you do grow?
Well, my mom, she's been a big canner, in canning the vegetables. So we really kind of make it a family thing, including our parents, to make a day out of canning as much as we can. And the corn we process, we really just process it to freeze it, so we don't can our corn. And last year, like I said, I think we harvested about 60, I'm going to guess around 60 pounds of frozen corn, off the husk there, and stored it away in the freezer. And we timed it about right, because we're dwindling down on our supply. So.
Okay. Overlook Valley Homestead is asking, do you process your pigs and chickens on the homestead, or do you send it out?
So I'm going to try to eventually do our own processing, but for right now, I feel like I still have a fair amount to learn as far as the pigs. And the biggest thing for me would be, timing it right to utilize the cold temperatures to do it, as far as, worrying about it, other ways to chill it. If I could time it right to do that, we might be looking to do that this winter. And as far as the chickens, this will be our first go around for the chickens, and I plan on doing that ourselves.
Okay, and somebody's asking if you're going to be at the Paul Bunyan show this year.
Yes, I was actually there last year, and I'm sure many of you watched Outdoors with the Morgans, but we got to meet him there. That was pretty exciting, and that's another family tradition we have, try to make it to the Paul Bunyan Festival. So met quite a few people there last year, and look forward to it this year as well.
What is your canning pantry, as in how much do you put up?
So like I said, we're still learning at it. My mother does most of the canning, and she's teaching the tricks of the trade to us as we go. We kind of just get it from her as we go, but she's got a room that's, I think, 12 by 8, and it's got a lot of canned goods in it. We have a big closet here with probably, 4 shelves full of canned goods. And like I said, the corn's our biggest harvest, and we freeze that. In the future, I look forward to, getting my own canning supplies and really fighting through to get more and more to become, more self-sufficient as we go.
Okay, Dave, what prompted you to start a YouTube channel, and how long have you been doing it, and what are your future plans for it?
Okay, that's a real good question. So the main reason was I wanted to capture the progress we're making with the property and, our place we call home. And secondly, I like the interaction, which brings me on to the next thing. It was kind of something I wanted to get better at as far as the public speaking part of it. Talking into a camera is surprisingly harder than you'd think. At least it was for me to start. I'm getting better at it. So I guess kind of a career development tool itself. But as far as future plans, I really like what we're doing. The channel's growing pretty good. It's fun. The interaction is really fun. I love to see other ideas of how other YouTubers are doing it. This YouTube itself is an amazing tool to learn just about anything you want to put your mind to.
That's true.
So I really like putting my ideas and thoughts out there for others, and it's just a fun hobby, second hobby.
Have you ever attended any of these homesteading conventions, or are you not so? The homesteading is kind of more of a sideline thing for you as you're developing here, or?
Yeah, so I actually didn't even know these existed until, last year. And then I've seen, other YouTubers start posting about them. And, I'd kind of like to go to one sometime, because it's right down my alley. And I'm sure there's tons of ideas being shared there as well. So
there
definitely in the future, might look forward to doing something like that.
Okay, great. Just checking through the chat here, and I see that we have Alf in the chat here.
Elf has arrived.
Yeah. Everybody put your cats up.
Yeah, put the cats away. Lock them behind the doors. The Naked Gardener's asking, does your mother live there with you or just nearby?
They live about 40 minutes from us. And, that's a nice time to go and spend the afternoon with them and such. So they're not too far. Pretty convenient for us to visit them.
So close enough to visit and far enough to not be in your business.
Yeah, that's not a problem though. We have really close family, both my parents and my in-laws. So we're always Sunday dinners and hanging out, playing games, and spending quality time together. So. Well,
I'm pretty sure you said it's your parents that has the farm. What about her parents? Are they they're from the city, or?
Yes, they live in town, and just we like to visit them and spend some good time with each other.
Great. Okay. Would you consider your parents homesteaders?
No, I wouldn't say homesteaders. So my dad, he's recently retired, so he spends a lot of time catching up on all of his hobbies that he wants to do. Sawmill, firewood. So I guess in a way you say they're homesteaders, but they're not so much into raising the animals anymore. They're talking about doing cattle, a couple projects years, provide for the family, and we kind of do a trade-off with the pork and the eggs for veggies, and it's a nice little ring there that we do. But I wouldn't say homesteaders, just they like to do their own thing, and my sister, she's big into horses, so that's pretty much what their property is used for now, is horses and such. So.
Hello, this is Daryl. Who's calling, please? Hello.
Hello. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Real
How's
good.
my people?
Well, I think your people's doing pretty good. Sherry's still recuperating, but we're doing pretty good.
Well, good deal. Am I on? I'm not listening to the.
Yes, you are.
You're live. Yeah, Dave can hear you.
I am live. Does anybody know who this is?
I do.
I wanted to ask him. I heard him say something about his father had a sawmill.
Yes. So he's got
like a wood miser band sawmill, or?
Yes, sir. It's an LT-15.
Yep.
And I think it's about 8 to 10 years old now, and it's never missed a beat. It's very fun. We have a lot of fun doing it, and as I said earlier, I pretty much built my whole animal barn from using that sawmill, so it's given us a lot of return on it already.
Yeah. I run one many a days with my grandfather. I wish now I kick myself in the rear now for selling it, but when he passed away, he'd worked my rear into the ground so many days that I didn't want to have nothing to do with it at that time. But now I wish I had it back.
He actually told me today that he bought a trailer for his, and so now it's going to be portable for him. But yes, the family, that's a great way we spend time together and have a lot of fun while doing it.
Yeah. Well, good deal. Well, I just thought I'd call in and say hi. Hi to all my people.
Well, and just for those of you in the chat that might be wondering, this is VW Family Farm. This is Ben.
They asked.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the phone calling in. So.
Yep. We had a wonderful afternoon there. Can't wait
This
to
is
do it again.
Daryl and Sherry's second home here,
That's
right?
right. That's right. I'm ready to come. I'm ready to come back.
Well, we're just waiting on him to get that couple
Get that 2-3 acres ready
yeah,
for
2 or
us.
3 acres in the corner ready for it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got enough. He'd never miss it.
Yeah, really.
One more question while I'm on here. What kind of greenhouse are you looking at? Are you going to try to build your own, or looking to buy a kit?
So I always try to do things myself. I haven't looked into it too hard to see if that's going to be obtainable for me, but I'll probably I'll look into doing it myself. And if I feel comfortable with it, that's the route I'd rather go. But when it comes down to it, maybe a smaller greenhouse kit might be the route I'll take, just so it'll work better.
Does Ohio have the option up there, like Arkansas does, on getting grants through the NRCS for greenhouses?
That's something I could look into. I know we have a lot of forestry programs and such, but as far as the greenhouse, I've never looked into that. I'll have to make note, and that might be something worth definitely looking into.
Yeah, it definitely is. I know that we've talked to them the last couple of years on different programs. The greenhouse is one that's coming to our farm. It's just it was lower on the priorities than our cattle, and but I do know that some of the numbers I looked at, especially if you're willing to put the work in and do a lot of the labor yourself on putting it up, you can almost pretty much pay for it or close to it. Like I think the numbers we ended up running was like a $10,000 greenhouse you could get for right at $1,000. So.
Oh wow.
Wow.
That'd be great assistance there, no doubt.
Right. So just something to think about or look into.
Hey, I sure appreciate it, Ben.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
Take care, Ben.
Thank you.
Hey, Ben, thanks for calling.
See y'all.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yeah, Ben and Andrea have an awesome greenhouse. I mean, blew me away when I found out there was no dirt.
Yeah.
I still can't get over that.
Yeah. They grow all kinds of stuff, and they don't have any dirt, so.
Some of those systems are very, very interesting. How productive they can be. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I see that Mimsey's Garden is saying something about they have a greenhouse, a 5-year plan with a high tunnel. So.
All right.
I know
Yeah, that would be great.
Jen at Haywire Homestead put in a thing for a grant for
Yeah.
a high tunnel.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
and they're in Ohio. So.
Right. Uh-huh. Yeah, they're done
Okay.
by
Yeah,
Dayton,
maybe
I
that's
think.
definitely something I'll have to look into. That would be great.
Sounds good, Tinker's wife. We haven't done squat in our garden. Well,
Well,
me being out of it for the last 3 weeks hasn't helped.
Well, and I was out there today, and it's still
It's
too
mud.
wet,
Yeah, because of the rain.
and it's supposed to rain most of the week this week.
Oh, I'll keep my fingers crossed for you there, Providence Farmstead. Naked Gardener's asking if you cook, and if so, what is your favorite go-to meal?
Okay. My favorite meal is probably going to include.
Okay, hold that thought.
Yep.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is Jeremy with Hidden Valley Homestead. I'm sorry, Living the Dream Homestead. I'm sitting here looking at Scott's message to me. Sorry.
Well, this is
That's terrible.
and this is Bill and Smith and Steve and we don't. I'm sorry. What was your channel again?
My name is Jeremy, and I'm with Living the Dream Homestead.
There we go.
Hey, Jeremy.
Oh, man.
Okay, he can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so first off, thank you for your service. I came in a little bit late here, and I kind of missed. How long were you in for? I heard you're in the Navy. I appreciate it. My youngest son, is in the Army.
Okay, great. Yeah, I was in for 5 years, and it was an awesome experience. I tell you, I would do it again if I had to, but I'm very glad I did it, and I learned a lot from it. It taught me a lot, and it really benefit my future career choices from doing it. So that's great your son's doing, and I wish him the best there.
Yeah, this is his first. He just got deployed, so it's really exciting for us. It's nerve-wracking, but enough with that. On with your homesteading. So, how long have you been homesteading now?
On our own here, about 3 years. So we're really starting to get into it and plan to improve as we go along.
Very cool. I just totally lost my train of thought, but hey, I appreciate you taking the time and answering some questions.
I do that quite often.
Hey, thanks, Jeremy. I always see you commenting on the videos there, and I sure appreciate it.
Yep. You have a great day, you guys, and keep it up, man.
Thanks for calling.
Okay,
Thanks.
Jeremy, thank you for calling.
Take care.
Natasha Yearwood's asking, wait a minute, he had a question he had to answer first.
Yes. I'm sorry I interrupted you. But now he lost his train of thought. Look
I was
at
going
him.
to say, what question was it?
My favorite meal.
That's right.
That was it.
That's right.
So, I really like to cook over an open fire. Usually I try to use seasoned cherry wood. It just gives a great flavor to it, but I love, pork steaks, pork chops on the fire, with the asparagus and, probably some form of potato.
Sounds like a good meal to me. I'm ready. Natasha Yearwood, how did you find your property? Was it hard?
So we were kind of on the market when I got out of the service. Fortunately, we had my parents to help give us a place to stay there in our transition period. And honestly, this place that we came to, it was kind of on a whim and a little bit out of our budget. But we came here, saw the house, instantly fell in love with it, and did what we could to try to make it ours. So we searched quite a few houses, and this one fit pretty much every one of our needs. So it was I would say it was fairly easy for us, and we're glad we did it.
Okay, Single Dad Homesteading has asked if you practice any bushcrafting skills.
Not as much as I used to. I used to really be into, the survival, things, trying to start my own fires and, I like to hike and make shelters. But here recently, the animals and land clearing kind of been occupying most of my time, but I'll still play around every now and then and, start some brush fires and such, the non-simplest forms. But as far as all around bushcrafting, I'd like to do it more maybe in the future there when things start to mellow out and get more routine. But for now, not as much as I used to.
Practical Modern Homestead is asking what type of predators do you have?
Most of our issues have been with a fox. 2 years ago, we had a coyote incident. The raccoons, and I lost one chicken to a hawk. So those have been the main issues, but mostly the fox. The sneaky old fox has gotten us quite a few times.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, there's also bear down there, is there not?
Yes, I'm sure they're around. I've never seen them. I know in West Virginia, we've seen quite a few at my parents'. There's also bobcat. I forgot to mention bobcat. I've seen quite a few of them here locally. And a little bit of everything. I wouldn't really like to be the chicken.
Okay, and Francine Kupek is asking, how much land are you on and what animals do you have? They got here a little late.
Okay, we have about 14 acres, 13 and some change. We have 3 pigs, 3 goats, 20 some chickens and a duck, 2 rabbits, and the one just had 4 babies. So that, along with the 2 dogs and a cat.
Boston Mountain Homestead is saying when they first moved out here, they saw a mountain lion.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be intimidating there. That's for sure.
Hello, this is Daryl. Who's calling, please? Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Oh my God. Who are you? I'm Ethan from Rich Green Acres.
Hi, Ethan. How are you?
Good.
What questions do you have?
What?
What's your question?
Like, do your girls homesteading?
Hi, Ethan. So,
do your girls homeschool?
What's that?
Do your girls homeschool?
Oh, no.
Do your girls help on homesteading?
Do they help on the homestead?
Oh, do they help on the homestead? I'm sorry. I'm
How are you, Ethan?
I'm putting them ahead of them. Go ahead. Yeah.
Yes, the girls love it. They really like to get those chicken eggs and feed the goats. They have a lot of fun with that. They like to brush them, and they really like throwing some food into the piggies too.
Well, I see you right now. We're on your video.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Well, and of course that brings up the next question. Do you folks have plans to homeschool the kids, or are they going to go to?
So right now, our intentions, to send them to public school. There's a great school system here. My daughter, she's going to be going to preschool or kindergarten. I'm sorry, next year. She's graduating her preschool tomorrow, so it's a big day for her.
Awesome.
And our youngest, she's still hanging around the house there for a few more years.
Cool. Next trivia question we should do.
Okay. All right.
Since it's 10 o'clock.
It's 10 o'clock already. Well,
Already.
let me get the trivia queued up here. Smudge will talk to you.
Rosanna, Dana.
Well, hi, folks. It's trivia time again. And we have to have some rules for this, so they are as follows. Number 1, you can only win once every 4 weeks. Number 2, you must be the first person to answer the question correctly in the chat window as it appears embedded on the screen here. Your chat window may have a different order. And number 3, you have to send an email to twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Send us your mailing address so we know where to send your winnings. Good luck.
Okay, and so I'll just repeat after Smudge here for anybody that might be new. The official order chat is up on the screen. That is that's what we have to go by. The order in your window may be different than that. So when we ask the question, whoever answers it first on the chat that you see in the window, that is the quote-unquote official winner. So if everybody's ready, question number 2. How many different tractor brands did we research before we made our choice on buying our last tractor? How many different brands did they research before they bought their last tractor?
All right.
Right there, Rich Green Acres. Rich Green Acres. The number was 4. They got that first, and those brands were, if you would share that with us.
All right. So I purchased the LS, which is 1. We had Rural Kings tractor, a TYM, and Branson.
Okay.
So send us an email, twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com, and you have your choice of seeds or chicken earrings.
And want to thank everybody for participating in that. That one was a little bit easier for folks to figure out. So prior to getting your LS, you had an older John Deere. You just pretty much upsized. Is that correct?
Yes, so I really like my John Deere. I don't have anything negative to say about it. It served me well with the year that I used it, but I just found out real quickly that the 18 horsepower hydrostat wasn't enough for what I needed around here. So I really wanted, mid-sized compact tractor. So I went and did, a lot of research, and I was really, shooting for, really wanted the best bang for my buck. And I thought going with LS, I got, the specifications seemed like they were, above most of them. The price was right. And there's a local dealer who I felt very confident in and have a good working relationship with. So that's the LS is what won me over there. It has a lot of great functions, and I don't get real attached to brand names of sorts. I really want the performance, and I needed to fit my needs more so along with my budget than worrying about the getting the John Deere again or the Kubota. So that's kind of my determining factors. Was I wanted the most tractor I could get for a nice price.
Well, and obviously it's all up to the individual. A company, and I know I see some scuttlebutt coming across here in the chat that some people that we all know very well have had some problems.
Just a few
with LS.
with the blue,
Yes.
with the blue one.
But LS obviously would, if everything that they had was that problematic, they wouldn't be in business, and that's not the case. So
Right. That's kind of, I realized that LS makes part of the New Holland, Boomer series. They're smaller horsepower tractors, and I just felt, if New Holland's trusting them to make their products for them, they're a brand name. My father has an LS or a New Holland TN65. He's had it for 15, 18 years, and it's never given him a bit of issues. And I look forward, kind of the same results with this tractor. I've gotten, I think, 70 some hours on it now, and it's not skipped a beat. So I'm very satisfied with it. I think it's going to serve me well. So I'm definitely satisfied with it. And I think if anyone were to look in any dealer's garage, workshop, they're probably going to see that brand getting worked on. So that's kind of my outlook on it.
So let's talk a little bit. Let's jump back to YouTube again here for just a second. What type of cameras do you use? Editing equipment? You said that your wife is a little bit shy in front of the camera. So is she the videographer? Is she the one taking the pictures? And
No, so growing up as a farm boy, I'm not very involved with technology and the modern technologies, at least, but I'm learning with it. I try to keep it simple. I don't get too in depth with the minute details, but I still, I'm learning. I'm trying to get better at it, but I basically just use my phone, editing software on it. I bought let's see, it was Cyberlink Power Director, I think it's called, that I started playing around with. And I have intentions on buying the DJI Osmo Pocket to kind of be my cameraman. That's just an investment. As the channel grows, I plan to upgrade my equipment as well. But for now, I keep it simple. I feel, pretty busy as is, and, hopefully dedicate more time to YouTube as things start to slow down. But we try to make the best with what we got.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so we'll put in a plug for us. On Tuesday nights, we do help folks out if they have editing questions or different things like that. And of course, one of the software platforms that we do use on that is Power Director. Filmora is another one we use. DaVinci Resolve is another one. So
Yes, I've chimed into quite a few of those that you all put out, and they're very helpful. So I'm sure you all watching are following them along as well. But you sure can learn a lot from you too.
Okay. So again, just to remind folks, the phone line is open. We've had a couple people call in. I was beginning to wonder if the phone was broke. Fruit trees. I saw a question earlier about fruit trees. I don't recall it ever being asked. So do you have any fruit trees on the property? Do you grow any citrus or fruits, any grapevines or anything like that?
Okay, so we're another thing that's growing there. We've gotten 2 Honeycrisp apple trees that this will be their 3rd season, and we've gotten it's a peach tree. I can't quite remember what. It's a self-pollinating peach tree. It's growing really nice. So those, will be providing for us here in the near future. I'd like to plant, 3 or 4 more apple trees. We've got a blueberry bush that produces a lot of blueberries, so that's always great in the summertime. Along with our strawberries. Strawberries are doing really good here. I started, a few years ago and put them on the bank, and they've kind of been creeping right down the bank, filling in real nice, and we get tons of strawberries from them.
Do you use the June bearing or the ever bearing?
These, I believe, are ever-bearing, so they produce a decent amount there throughout.
Okay. And Farmer Brad said, I came in late. Do you have chickens? And of course, the answer to that is yes. Yes, they have chickens. I forget how many, but 23 or something.
Yes, we've got lots of chickens there. All egg laying right now. We have 1 duck, but here in the near future, we're going to start experiencing with meat birds. So I'm thinking I'm going to start within 10 to 15 birds for the first go around, see how it goes.
And Boston Mountain Homestead is asking, do you have videos about fruit trees and strawberries and that type of stuff?
No, I do plan on doing it, but as of right now, I don't have the apple trees aren't producing, along with the peach tree. I may do some on this blueberry and strawberry bush, but I'm still learning, so I want to put out good information that could be helpful, and I haven't quite developed the knowledge yet for that, so I haven't put out a video yet.
So do you get your chickens at the local Rural King / Tractor Supply, or do you go to a hatchery to get them, or friends, family, or?
Growing up, I always went through Murray McMurray hatcheries, and throughout my younger years there, when we got this place, it was just a lot more convenient for us to go to Rural King, and I've had great success with their birds. So that's the most convenient things for us right now is just going to Rural King.
Okay. One of the reasons that I mentioned that is because I know that is it next month? June? Is it in June? That the hatchery over here in Polk is having their...
Yes.
Yeah,
that's when Big Bear will be here, and Roots and Refuge will also be in Ohio.
Yeah, there's going to be a customer appreciation day at Meyer Hatchery, I believe it's called, in Polk, Ohio. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't know if you're going to be heading up that way or not, because that's not far from our place, and we were going to meet some other YouTubers there that day.
Oh, excellent. I have ordered from them before. That you say that name, that sounds familiar. It's been years ago, but I know for a fact that I've ordered from them as well.
Well, they're having a customer appreciation day on the 15th, I believe.
15th is on a Saturday, yeah.
It's on a Saturday. And so if you have the opportunity to break free, at least it's not driving cross country.
You're right.
Yeah, the 15th.
Yeah, it's on the 15th.
Yeah, Big Bear will be there. Oh, Sakima's Ridge will be there also.
Sakima's Ridge will be there. Big Bear will be
Another meetup.
Yeah, and it'll be like a mini meetup at the chicken joint.
Yeah.
The best place for them there.
Yeah. Oh, we can't even find our strawberries, Mama Bear. They're just the raised bed is just there's so many weeds and grass in it. I told Daryl, would you just mow it down and see what happens?
So I got a haircut.
Oh, did you do it already?
Yeah.
I haven't been back there. Jessica, I don't know. I mean, that's where we're meeting Jason and Robin. They sort of told us that's where we were going that day. So we're going to meet them, but I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Roots and Refuge so I can find something either later that day or maybe Sunday that we could have an actual meetup with the four of them.
So we don't know yet. It's still a little. They're going to be on a rush trip because they're coming up for other reasons.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And VW will be up also in June.
Yeah, and I don't know if he's still in the chat here or not, but that's other reasons yet. Their
That
kids.
is other reasons. Yeah.
They'll be actually up here for a week in the Cincinnati area
Yeah.
for something involving their kids.
Yep. But then they're going to Layman's.
They want to go to Layman's.
That'll be our third trip.
Well, talking about Layman's, Dave, do you have you ever been to Layman's? Have you ever gone up that way?
No, I have not. No.
Well, Dave, there is a link in our description for Layman's. Feel free to use that. Here I am promoting again.
That's a store your wife could probably get lost in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dealing with crafts and such or something?
No,
or,
no.
that's what it comes to
Actually,
my
it's
mind.
not crafts. It's well, I mean, there's stuff for you too, but it's like it started out, I think, as actually a store for the Amish because that's where it's at. It's over in Kidron, Ohio, off of 30. So they're surrounded by Amish. So a lot of it is off-grid stuff, but they have the
It's a very true hardware store.
wood burning stoves. They have off-grid refrigerators, tools, kitchen stuff, canning stuff, clothing, soaps. Jessica, help me
Wow,
with this. Yeah, Layman's is awesome. That's all I get from Jessica.
Yeah, like I say, folks, just go down and click the link in our description and just browse the website. It's
Oh yeah,
incredible.
Wildcat. I understand. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah. I love going there.
Okay. So anyway, plans for the next 5 years, Dave. Where you see yourself? Or do you not do that? Do you just kind of take it a day at a time, or do you kind of have a little bit of a 5-year goal? Let's say.
We actually started talking about this, and so basically, in relation with the hobby farm, I think we're just going to continue to see how much food we can grow and produce, to utilize the land and, be as self-sufficient as possible. That's kind of our goal. I had a rough number, percentage-wise, within the next few years, I would like to grow and utilize 50 to 60% of our own food is kind of my goal. I haven't calculated enough to figure out exactly how that's going to pan out, but that's what I'd be happy doing. So.
Okay. And that's a nice goal. Do you have?
Yeah, and it's going to include the animals, the meat birds, and gardening, learning more with canning. That's kind of a big step that we're wanting to take and take on more this year is getting some more canning equipment and picking mom's brains and trying to get the good techniques down.
So, do you have any aspirations to explore some of the alternative power sources, solar power, wind generation, or anything like that? Some more off-grid capabilities?
No, not so much. If any type of off-grid thing, it would probably be an alternate, water source. There's springs everywhere on the property that I'd try to like to utilize, but mostly provide a spring water system to the barn. That would be a nice goal. Maybe combine that with some sort of rainwater collection from it, and possibly some small solar panels for LED lightings or something in the barn, but not too in depth with that.
Okay, let's jump back to the chickens again here for just a little bit. I'm sure you're familiar with Justin Rhodes and the popularity of chicken tractors that he and Joel Salton have made throughout the community. I get the impression yours are not that way. You just have a fenced-in area, chicken coop type area that the chickens pretty much stay in. I don't think you free range very much, based upon what I heard you say earlier. But is that what you're going to continue to do? Are you gonna maybe build a chicken tractor and?
Yeah, I've got a chicken tractor built. As far as our egg layers go, they stay in their pen there. I do free range them if I know I'm going to be around for the evening, so I can leave the alternate door open for them to get back into the coop. And so they do free range quite a bit, but only on the evenings for a few hours while I'm going to be able to be out there because surprisingly that fox, it'll come. You won't be away very long, and a fox will have one, and it'll be gone. So you got to keep a close eye on them. But as far as the meat birds we go, I have built a chicken tractor. It's basically a simple 2x4 frame using 12-foot 2x4s, and for the bottom or the top, and a 10-foot on the bottom. So basically, this one is 4 by 10 foot with an open bottom, with pneumatic tires on it. Real simple with a sheet metal roof. I'm just going to basically pull that around some of the pastures that I've created and let them work it. So that's my goal. I'm just starting out, like I said, 10 to 15 birds just for that one tractor to see how it goes. Possibly build them in. I really like their designs that Justin Rhodes has put on there. But this one, the 2x4, it was simplest for me, and I feel like I'm going to use it when I don't have the meat birds for like the rabbits to get out and stretch their legs and stuff with. So simplicity is my goal.
Okay, well, I'm not sure where we're going to go from this. Do you have any anything you'd like to talk about? And Washington County News Station / Utah, thank you very much for the super chat there. Appreciate it.
A lot of people are logging off, jumping off.
Yeah, I think people had a long weekend, so. But we had a nice crowd here. Farmer Brad says, my new tractor is 8x8 with 2x3. I'm not. That sounds like a bigger tractor.
Oh, Single Dad's asking if you have a year-round creek.
The Ohio River.
No, so
Yeah.
there's not a specific creek per se, but I know for sure there's at least 5 springs on the one side of my property that produce year round. I actually I started out with the pond that I had. I started whenever I cleared the ground. It was basically a 10 by 10 mud hole that was always wet, and I know it was a watering hole before, probably for the cattle that were in there. So I started with just a hand shovel at the time. I didn't have the tractor yet. I dug the pond out and kind of developed the spring there, and it produced water all through the summer. So I figured, this year I went ahead, made a couple videos about it with the LS and the backhoe. I used it and kind of doubled the size of the pond, and now there's bluegill in it. The girls like to go out there. I'll take them fishing. We'll catch some of the bluegill. They have a blast with it. But yeah, mostly springs, a lot of water flow, especially with how wet it's been, last year and starting off this year as well here in Eastern Ohio.
Okay.
That's kind of brings me into, I'd like to find a way, maybe some type of ram pump or something I've been researching into, maybe to try to develop to force water up to the barn. So I think that would be really neat.
Mm-hmm.
This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is
Thomas Schmidt Homestead Project.
Well, hello, Thomas Schmidt Homestead Project. How are you this evening?
I'm just calling to say how much I appreciate you and Sherry and Dave there. Been following you both for a long time.
Well, thank you for calling.
Hi, Thomas.
Hey, Dave.
How you doing?
How, not too bad. What, do you know what happened to your one pig?
No, so that's something I didn't put out on YouTube there because I didn't know a lot about it, but we actually I went out to the pigs. We started off with 4, for those of you that follow the channel, and one of them, couldn't tell if he was a Berkshire mix or American guinea hog. He was kind of a smaller frame compared to the Hampshire Yorkshire crosses. And I went out to feed him one afternoon after I got home from work. I noticed that, he was real kind of lethargic acting, just standing in the entry to the hog house, and he didn't come out and eat like the others. Usually they're climbing the fence like puppy dogs, wanting their food. And the next day, the next day I noticed he was still real lethargic and wouldn't get up very often. So I went ahead and I gave him a dose of LA-200. The following day, I did 2 rounds of penicillin on him. And I couldn't get a vet to come in our area, with the calf season. They were all pretty much booked up. I didn't have a set veterinarian yet to come to the barn, the farm here. So really, I was shooting in the wind. I thought, it was some type of infection. And the next day we lost him there. And I still, I didn't see anything wrong with him. I looked into it there after he had passed and couldn't find any obvious issues. Everything looked normal inside, some water retention in his front breast area. And I don't know if he caught some type of pneumonia or urinary tract infection, but whatever it was came quick and hit him hard. So
Unfortunately things happen.
Right. Yep. And it was a great learning experience for me. I found out how hard it is to give pigs injections there. And luckily my wife Tylen, she was real helpful on trying to get him injected. And we did what we could, electrolytes and a sprayer, trying to give him water and keep fluids in him, but whatever it wasn't working for us. So the other 3 pigs, they have not shown any signs of anything, and they're doing just fine. So
yeah, because you got those at the auction, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's
yep. And we had them a little over 2 months there. Let's see. Yeah, it's been 2 months or so since we've gotten them, and they were happy and healthy as could be, and that happened there. So, how's your piglets doing there, Thomas?
Oh, they're doing great. I don't think you can keep a piglet in a waterproof container. I really don't think you could do that because they get out. they are trying their best to get out everywhere they can.
I'd believe it.
But mommy, she's doing great, and I don't know. I don't know if she laid on the one or the one just didn't make it because it didn't seem squished. But the rest of them, they're doing great now.
That's good to hear. Good to hear.
I'm still trying to figure out where I got them multicolored ones out of a black boar and a pink sow, but oh well, it happened.
No doubt. You got me on that one.
But I came in late and I seen you guys on, and I just had to call in and thank Daryl and Sherry for doing everything they did. They taught me how to edit on Filmora. I still have a lot more to do, but and I watch your channel all the time, and I know you comment on mine a lot, so I appreciate that.
Well, glad you called in.
Yes, sir. I sure appreciate you calling in.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm gonna let you go to get back to the chat so I can turn the computer back on and hear what's going on.
Thanks for calling, Thomas.
Hey, take care, Thomas.
Take care.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night now.
You too.
Bye-bye.
You too.
Yeah. Yep. Bye.
Bye.
Question for you here. Do you see yourself making a living off your farm?
No, I don't think we'll ever be able to support ourselves that much from it. But I do want to try to expand and, try to be as self-sufficient as possible. But I know I'm probably going to still have to work a full-time job doing what we're doing there. I'm probably going to keep it more along the lines of the hobby level. I really enjoy it. The kids, they have a blast with it. It's just a good learning experience for us. I think a lot of modern society is disconnected from this type of thing, and I really enjoy it and want to stick to it. So.
Okay. Well, I think it's been a very interesting night.
Yeah.
I sure am glad and honored to have been a guest on your all's channel. This has been very entertaining. So a lot of interaction, and I'll take on any questions anyone has there. So.
Single Dad Homestead is asking, what do you do now?
I'm a high voltage electrician. That's what I do, and it's another one of those interesting and interesting career choices, but always something different. Technology's changing with it, and it's fun for me.
Okay. Just trying to make sure that didn't miss anything on the chat here.
Yep, I think we got them
And
all.
thank you all for asking the questions and chiming in there. It's been sure has been fun.
So, well, it's been wonderful having you, and we thank you for your time here this evening. I know that folks in the chat here, if you are not subscribed, you ought to go check him out. He's got some interesting videos out there, and they're just gonna keep getting better. So,
yes, I sure would appreciate the support. I love the interaction with all the comments and such that I get. Constantly trying to make better videos and always try to stay entertaining. So I have a lot of fun with it, and I look forward to meeting new people. And it's been my goal, and I don't know how long I'll be able to hold it, but I try to comment to every video comment I get. Sometimes it's taxing and takes a long time, but
Yep.
we're going to stick to it.
Well, you got a few new subscribers tonight.
So,
well, I sure appreciate the support, everyone.
So, folks, next week we're going to have another channel on that's I'm going to say they're growing, called the Citystead. So
Yep. They were here for a little bit.
Citystead will be on next week.
He was here for a little bit.
And we hope to see you all back again next week. And tell a friend, bring them along. We don't charge extra. All the tickets are free.
Yeah, we don't know if we'll be here doing it or elsewhere doing it. We're not sure yet.
Oh.
With the weekend.
Well, okay. Anyway, we will see you.
Yeah.
We will see you all next Monday night, and everybody have a wonderful week. Holiday weekend is coming up, so be careful, drive careful, and take care, everyone. Have a nice evening.
Take care, all.